Okay, so my hit list for how I'm a bad partner. You ready? Yes, ma'am. I don't object when clearly I should object. I don't put my foot down and stay. Like sometimes I'll be like, no. And then I'm like, okay, fine. Whatever.
You are avoiding conflict at all costs.
I say no because it merits a no. And then I say yes to make it stop. Make whatever it is stop. Make the talking stop. Make whatever the look on her face stop. Whatever. Like, if you can stop talking and stop looking at me, I'll just say it. I'll just say yes. Go away and leave me alone.
Good thing you didn't have kids.
Thank fuck, man. Can you imagine? Welcome to Permission the Podcast. I'm Dr. T, and this is my sister,
Silvana, and we are two regular people talking about spirituality in our daily lives.
Each week, we're inviting you to the internal conversation. So let's get started.
With your permission. Welcome back to Permission the Podcast. This week, we're going to talk about the bad relationship.
Yes, we got
This is take 3.
Take 3.
I couldn't remember the name of the episode.
We got it. This is it. The bad relationship. It only takes 3 tries. And I'm going to start. I think when we originally thought about this, first of all, our marketing and branding came up with suggestions for what we should talk about. And they came up with this idea about high performers picking or choosing bad partners. And I think what we came up with here is potentially how we can all make bad partners and what that looks like. And we'll kind of go into the high performers choosing bad partners as well. But, you know, like every good couples therapist will tell you, you should use I statements. So we're going to start the episode with some I statements. I was a bad partner to a lot of people.
Okay, me too.
I was, not there. So my biggest problem or challenge in relationship was not taking space. So not occupying my full half of the relationship space, which is kind of, this episode coming after the whole half episode makes sense as well. So as I reflected with the end of my marriage, I was having to reflect on what did I do, or how did I show up, or how did I not show up to this specific relationship, because that's something I want to change in the future, being a reflective person. So my biggest thing was not taking up space, which was detrimental to myself, obviously, and a disservice to the person that I was with.
I was doing the opposite. I was taking too much space. Not in a selfish way, but like just being focused on me and just doing my thing, but also just not like including but not including really. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
yeah, can you go into that?
Like I would do stuff I wanted to do. I was like super independent. I was so into just doing what I wanted to do. But also I knew that he wouldn't be interested in doing anything I wanted to do. So I was just like, okay, I'm doing it all alone. And I was just focusing on me rather than, okay, let's pause here. What can we find? Or really work on finding something to do together or to be more connected. I felt very comfortable just being on my own in a way.
Being independent.
But not just independent, just being single without being single. Does that make sense?
You were functioning as a single person in couplehood.
But not in a way like, okay, I'm not open to other relationships, but more like just being on my own, like if I didn't have a partner,
Yeah. Was that Was that weird?
It felt great for a long time and it felt comfortable. It felt like it was just me, you know. But at the end, that also made me realize, okay, why is this okay? Why, you know, as I would like see other people, see other couples and see, oh, I wonder what that feels like. You know, like if I saw a couple doing yoga together, every now and then they will touch hands. I was like, oh, I wonder what that feels like. And so, in a way, I was missing that, you know, like that connection.
Do you feel like you were a bad partner for staying?
I feel like it was kind of selfish in a way because I was comfortable. If it was, it's kind of like when you're at a job and you just, you know, everything, there's nothing new. It's just comfort. It just feels right, you know, like, oh, this is, it's easy. It feels comfortable. And
Okay.
so it felt comfortable and okay for a long time until it didn't.
I understand that. That makes a lot of sense. I don't know if I was ever comfortable in in my relationship with the woman I married. I don't think I was ever comfortable. I don't think comfortable would be a suitable word for it. Well, okay, I'll
Well,
elaborate because there was so
okay.
much conflict.
Right.
We were in so much conflict generally that it was there wasn't space or room for comfort.
And also looking at me like in a way that was selfish of me, selfish towards myself and selfish towards my partner. Just to like, oh, this is great.
And at the same time, isn't that what he wanted?
This, yeah, maybe. I have like, if we're like going back into past relationships, right? Like before marriage, before everything, all of the relationships I had, I want to say that I'm guilty of or was guilty of losing a little bit of myself in the relationship, meaning if I met someone that was very passionate about something, I would become passionate about that. But it really wasn't my passion. So I would lose myself in their persona. Does that make sense?
No, were you runaway bride? Do you know the
Mm,
I like my eggs how you like them, baby.
yeah, no, I always like my eggs a certain way. And that's over easy. Perfectly done.
Hey, I have a clip of this in my book, and eggs are really versatile, and you can like them all sorts of ways, but you should
Yeah.
know what you like.
Yes, mine are definitely over easy. And then there's
I
other
mean, you
ways
don't
I
like
eat
some
them.
Benny?
What?
Eggs Benny?
Benedict?
Yeah.
They're all right.
You don't like some eggnog? Come on.
Eggnog is okay.
Some egg salad?
I do love egg salad. And I do love hard boiled eggs, but the yellow has to be runny.
You know how hard it is to fry an egg?
It's very easy for me. I'm very talented. Anyway,
Okay, so
I
you
would
know how
like,
you like your eggs.
I
That's
do
good.
know how to like my eggs, but when I was younger, I would lose myself in the other person. And part of me would feel like I am that person in a way. And maybe there is a like a term in psych, I don't know. But I would almost feel like I'm that person in a way. Meaning if they had a passion, I would be passionate about it. And my stuff would be like on a pause in a way. Younger me.
And that changed?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I say generally what happens in a couple is you're looking for something that you want to connect with within yourself and you're placing it onto the other. That's a common relationship dynamic. So, I want to find this aspect of myself or connect with this part of me, and this person, while I relate to them, brings it out in me. Or
Okay.
they embody it, right? So maybe that means an introverted person gets with an extroverted person, right? Maybe that means a person that is type A gets with type B. Maybe that means a very high strung person gets with a very relaxed weed smoker.
But that's also, in a way, creating a balance, you know?
Yeah, creating a dynamic for both parties to inch in
And towards the middle.
towards a homeostasis that is better. You know that you don't know because we haven't talked about it. So this is
Okay.
I just found this out. You know that tight ass is actually a medical thing.
What?
It's common with lady athletes is what I've heard, but also lady athletes with anxiety that experience anxiety.
But you're not saying
They're
like that's the term for it. Tight ass?
no. I think it's called something else, but that's what it is. I think it's called something else. But what it causes is you have to go to the bathroom more often because it impacts I guess it impacts your bladder. So
So
when
you have to urinate more often. You
correct.
mean?
So when
Okay.
I had a lady at the gym tell me about this, went to the doctor and for
Just imagine you in
like
CrossFit lifting all
bathroom
this.
breaks, right?
I'm just picturing you in CrossFit lifting this like massive weights and then, hey, let me talk to you about my tight ass.
And she found out that that's a real thing.
Okay.
We had a good laugh about
Yeah.
it,
Okay.
but it's I guess it's a common thing. It's a common thing for some people out there.
Now I'm lost. Why were we talking about this?
Oh, because we're inching in. If you pick a partner that contrasts you in this massive way, right? Then it is you kind of in search of a new homeostasis, or you're wanting to tap into, whatever that is that makes this person
The other
relax,
side.
right? Makes this person chill, makes this person sociable, makes this person work a room, all of the things.
Okay.
So finding that balance.
What else? I've been guilty of falling for the potential in people, but not the real self.
That's the worst.
Meaning like, oh, you could be so much. That's the person I'm in love with. Not you, but I will make you get there. Yeah, I've done that long time ago.
I don't do that. I'm so much more like a dude in that way. I don't
Yeah.
do that.
But also, it has to do with how, I don't know, I can see and feel people. So I'm like, oh, I see it, I feel it. And so you can be this, or that. But at the end, relationship like that did not last, right? Because at the end, you were in love with someone that doesn't exist, a ghost potential, which is not the person in front of you. But that was a long time ago. And that kind of spilled over into also my journey with spirituality and stuff, just seeing the light in people or seeing their energy and I'm like, oh, I can see it, and being so excited for them more than they were for their change. And that I changed that as well. Like, I don't do that anymore. Sorry. And I respect everybody where they are and their journey and whatever that looks like, whatever color it is, whatever it is, it's perfect.
Were you a pusher?
No, I thought I was motivating, but it wasn't. I was like trying to, like, hey,
Like
this is what you
pushing
want to
people off of
do.
a cliff?
This is what you want to do. Remember, you mentioned it. And so, no, everybody has to be the one making those decisions, those commitments, not me. I mean, it's not for me to do.
Not mine. Yeah, so I feel like that's another thing. I didn't really place boundaries in my relationship. I'm really good with boundaries generally and in lots of areas in my life. And there's something that happens when I'm in a relationship where I just want to just say yes to all the things, like yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but that was you losing yourself, someone else before choosing you.
Yeah, and I was trying to create peace, but that was just like, that was not a thing.
That was dimming your light. Right. I get it. That wasn't working because you were making them shine and you were dimming every time.
Yeah, and often,
Shrinking, basically.
yeah, and I often would say yes to things I had no business saying yes to. I stopped doing that.
Essentially saying no to yourself. Right.
Right. Now I can look back and reflect. I have great boundaries actually in real life. I say no lots of times to lots of people and things.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a pattern that I broke. It might have been a pattern I broke in 2025, actually. Yeah.
That's good. Like boundaries. Yeah, I've just had a long conversation with my 14-year-old, and boundaries was the main issue. Very good with boundaries. And then for certain people, certain family, or certain things, I'm not, because I'm like, I understand this, or I get it. They're struggling with this. And then you're like, no,
No.
no. So I was explaining to my son how you can cross certain boundaries from people. He's going through this phase where he's very into his religion, meaning he's reading the Bible, memorizing the Bible, and he feels like he should be a disciple and approach everyone and save everyone. But at the same time, he's carrying all this burden. And I'm like, it's okay to share stuff with like-minded people or when people are searching for something, but it's not your job to save everyone, right? So, and also if you're sending, say you're sending a Bible verse to somebody, if they're not answering back, that means they don't want to hear it from you.
Right.
So just learning people's boundaries, and that's okay. They have them. If you want to be part of their life, you got to respect those. For most people, religion and politics shouldn't be in their mouth when they talk, right? It's not, you may never, and you don't have to agree with everybody, but like, you have to understand and respect, okay, this is what they believe. It is not what I believe. And so the other day, was it last night? Yeah. I wrote a number 6 facing my son. And to me, it was facing as a 9. And I'm like, I said, what do you see? He was like, it's a number 6. And I'm like, no, it's a number 9. And he goes like, well, to you. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what this means? We're both right. So it is. And that's how faith is. I can have my faith. You can have your faith. For you, it's right. For you, it looks like a 6. For me, it looks like a 9.
Right.
And it's, and
I
anyway.
love that example. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, it's like, what if we're both right? I said to him, because he feels like, okay, I'm right. So I have my carnelian today. I'm right. And in his mind, certain things are wrong. And I'm like, okay, what if we are both right?
Exactly.
All of those people out there that think the earth is flat, they're right. Mine is and sphere. But you know what I mean? Like, what if we're both right? Because at the end, your reality is what you believe. So I don't know. I know we veered way off subject.
Well, no, it's really good, because that's the biggest thing that I do teach in individual therapy is oftentimes I get patients bringing in issues with relationships because relationships are so important and they're so dominant, right? Like their intimate partnership is part of a biggest chunk of life, right? Because you're spending time with this person, you're sharing your life with this person. So part of that journey, I do individual work, is saying, well, you have to approach every conversation with validating their perceptual reality. And generally, the example that I use is, partner B walks into the room and says something, and partner C says, why are you yelling at me? And you're wanting to be able to go into, I did walk into the room and say something. I did hear the yelling. So both of the parties are right. You're just now having to come together with, what do we do about this? Because there's no way for the other person to jump into your own experience. So if the person is saying, you yelled at me, that means that they experienced you yelling at them.
Yeah.
And so being able to work with that makes both parties right. And both of our perceptions are right, because we're inhabiting that perception. One person cannot say, no, you didn't hear that.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
Right. So I really love the the 6 and 9. I'm gonna use that.
Good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and I was trying to explain too to him like how everything that he's going through, it's the meaning you're giving it. So he's giving it that meaning. You want this to be intense, it will be intense. You know, like I'm trying to make him understand that he's choosing. He's choosing how intense it is. Conversations, everything.
It's so fascinating how much control we have over things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so kind of bringing it back to topic, I feel like if we look at the relationship from the lens of, okay, this is my half is my part, and I'm inhabiting the half that is mine to inhabit, there are so many things that are within our control.
Yeah.
That are within our control. There's so many things that are within our control, whether I believe my thoughts or I don't believe my thoughts, whether I interact with my thoughts, whether I believe something positive or negative about my partner, whether I have a specific feeling or mood shift and it's high or low or this or that, and I'm attributing it to my partner or not, right? A lot of the things that happen in relationship are also based on not being able to take responsibility of your own stuff. Like your half is your half.
Yeah.
That includes the shit.
You just reminded me. You just reminded me of something. Like I had this flashback of this was a while ago. But John used to say when he did the dishes, right? So I would cook. I love cooking, by the way, right? I enjoy cooking.
You're still gonna have to come over and cook.
I do is like after I'm done cooking, I do expect some help with cleaning up, right? And John would come and he would do, I don't know, 2/3 of the dishes or 1/2, and then he was like, "Okay, this is my half." And I'm like, I used to lose it. I'm like, so I'm gonna start making half a meal. Like
Intensa.
I'm like, this makes no sense. This the dishes are still half done.
I mean, I get it, man. Dishes are rough.
Nobody wants to do them. Like cleaning bathrooms, right? Who wants to clean a bathroom?
Sometimes you have to walk away from the dishes. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're standing there, you're washing the dishes, and sometimes you just got to walk away.
Yeah.
You know, I would get a complaint about, you know, how you're complaining about the dishes. I would get a complaint of, you know, sometimes you wash all of the things. You wash all of the dishes and not wash my water bottle or my dish or my cup. And I'm like, oh, no idea.
Bottle is strictly connected to you.
I mean,
that's like I'm not washing your hands. But
and it's also okay, a water bottle is labor intensive and annoying to wash.
Right, but also it's so personal to you. Like, I don't want you washing my water bottle. Like, I'm very particular how I wash my water bottle.
Wash your goddamn water bottle.
Exactly. I'm not gonna wash your
goal. That's the takeaway of the story.
I just don't think water bottles count as the dishes. That's all.
Fair.
Yeah, but if you weren't washing her cup, her plate, I don't know. It's funny. And at one point I was like, okay, because that used to really get me, right? Because now I have to, not only did I cook the full meal, now I have to wash the 1/3 that you didn't want to do, or the 2/3, whatever he felt was, you know, right amount.
Sufficient.
Right. I don't know if he was dividing by 4 or 4 people. I don't know. He had something going on, and I was just like, no.
Why don't the kids wash the dishes?
At one point, I was like, you either do them or don't do them.
What? That sounds crazy.
And no, but this is me being upset. And then after that, I was like, no, just let it go. Now that after that, that wouldn't bother me. You know, like, and the boys too, like, I'm like, you can do more than that. I'm like, feel the grease with your fingers. This needs to be rewashed. Yeah, I have boys, so it's kind of, yeah.
It's kind of what?
It's complicated with them, the whole doing dishes. I don't know. I don't know if it's a guy thing, a boy thing. I don't know.
Do we want to even approach this topic? Or that's maybe, like a sex topic.
Or maybe it's me like my
Yeah,
mom. There's
you, the
only
mom.
one. Is there only one way to cut the onion? Like my mom,
No, 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 no. No, I'm thinking you're like mom and not had the boys do anything.
I think it's more a personal problem that I had, where I was more like, I like things done a certain way. And if they did it a different way, like if the dishes felt dirty, I would redo them.
Well, you don't want to eat on top of dirty dishes.
Right. Or I would just stand there and be like, use your fingers, feel the grease.
That sounds like more work.
It does. They're better though. I'm better too. Like I'm not, that stuff doesn't even faze me anymore.
Okay.
Like I was the one getting upset. I was the one getting like, oh, instead of like, I'm grateful for what you did. And, helping them to figure out how they were still dirty. Can you pass me that? Oh, look, it's slippery.
And you know what's interesting is that they probably wouldn't have a hard time eating off of it.
No, they
No,
don't care.
They don't care. They don't care.
I care.
I really think it's a male thing. I
Could
don't know
be.
what it is.
They
Right?
also eat stuff off the floor. So
Well,
no.
I need you. I need to paint you a picture. Okay, I'm gonna paint
Okay.
you a picture. I'm having Linner, also a Seinfeld term, by the way. I'm having Linner with mom and dad, with my mom and my dad, and we got pizza. I got the pizza.
You're a pizza place, or you used to go?
To go.
Okay.
So we're at my parents' apartment.
Okay.
We're eating pizza, and it's a handheld, right? Like holding, to start, you're doing a knife and a fork, and you're doing the whole thing because it's hot or whatever. It's pizza, and then you go for it. It's a handheld. After dad is done, he doesn't wash his hands, and he's like, you can tell that he has pizza grease on them. You can tell.
Mm.
And he's trying to figure out a way to what do I do with this? But also he's trying to, on the low, wipe his hands on his pants, like
a toddler.
Right, like a 5-year-old. At what age do you stop wiping your hands on your pants on khakis?
I've never seen him do that.
Okay,
Well,
so
because I normally cook meals that you need a fork to eat with.
Right, exactly.
I don't make pizza.
So mom is like kind of saying, wash your hands, but like, come on, you're like 100 years old.
84.
You're 100 and going on 102, and you're wiping your, come on. And then he's like touching stuff, and I'm like, don't touch. But I'm also not gonna tell my 100-year-old father
84
to wash his hands.
Yeah.
Because that's, if you haven't learned how to wash your hands at 100, you're just not gonna fucking learn it, bro. Like, That's it.
Well, I still tell the boys to wash their hands before the meal.
I think it's a dude thing. I don't know.
There's gotta be women out there that don't care. I'm not one of them.
Will say that Panky probably doesn't have whatever gene dad has. No.
Roberto, yeah.
Okay, so my hit list for how I'm a bad partner. You ready? Yes, ma'am. I don't object when clearly I should object. I don't put my foot down and stay. Like sometimes I'll be like, no. And then I'm like, okay, fine. Whatever.
You are avoiding conflict at all costs.
I say no because it merits a no. And then I say yes to make it stop. Make whatever it is stop. Make the talking stop. Make whatever the look on her face stop. Whatever. Like, if you can stop talking and stop looking at me, I'll just say it. I'll just say yes. Go away and leave me alone.
Good thing you didn't have kids.
Thank fuck, man. Can you imagine?
You just
No.
stop whatever
Just
you're doing.
stop. Just no. Or no, if we had kids, I would probably be taking care of them because she would have just left. At least that's my hypothesis. I don't know. Or maybe
Okay.
she's too narcissistic and would want to keep them around. I don't know. So, okay. Not taking up space, not sharing myself, my true self, not actually embodying myself. Looking for the other to be the thing that I want to be. I think those are my greatest hit lists. I think that's it. I mean,
That's a lot.
I feel like that's enough. Like I don't think I need to find more, but
yeah.
and I stopped talking. Sometimes I stop talking.
What do you mean? You go mute?
Yeah, and sometimes it's a weaponized silence, but generally most often or more often than not it's like a regression to like an infant style state where I'm nonverbal.
Reminds me of Aiden when he would close his eyes to make it disappear. Okay. Trying to think what else I've been guilty of.
I mean, what's your hit list?
Well, the focusing more on the partner rather than me. Like I'm just going back a long time ago, like just being all about them, whatever they want to do, whatever they want to. Yes, yes. So, yesing everything, I guess. And I don't know. I feel like during my marriage, I've been more selfish in a way, more about me. So,
So it was all about the other and now it's all about you. And now?
no, I mean, meaning not all about me, like, but more like I knew that we weren't doing stuff. So I was just like, you know what, I'm just doing. So I was just focused on me and what I want. Like, I didn't stop doing what I wanted to do. I just did it. But I also wasn't trying to, and I don't want to say fix, but like connect, right, with my partner. So at the end, I have sort of given up until I was just like, okay, this isn't, what are we doing here? But now, I mean, I feel like now I'm someone else, meaning I'm not the same person I was dating prior to my marriage, or I'm not the same person I was during my marriage either. So going forward it's going to be different. Different that I expect someone to be present, someone to show up, someone can hold me, and someone that can grow with me. Also, someone that can show me the shit I need to work on, and vice versa, and not be a conflict, more like
A conversation.
a conversation that will actually make us be stronger together, and somebody that is actually aligned spiritually with me. So I'm looking more for a sacred connection in a way. I don't know if that makes sense.
Equity. You're looking for equity. Me too. And being able to say no when it's not that.
Right, but then you expect that partner to understand that and to want to be around anyway, right? I mean, because you're talking about a different, well, for me, a partner that's aligned with and understands, that shows up on purpose.
I've become very intentional about all the things. I mean, things that I do, things that I don't do, what I say, what I don't say, especially with my writing as well. I'm picking, it's almost like picking the perfect, precise words to deliver a message, especially if it's a sensitive message. I'm strategic in kind of what I choose to say and not say. But that's communication for a relationship is everything. I mean, when people say they're going to couples therapy, it's to work on one thing, communication.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what you're doing in couples therapy.
For sure. We mentioned earlier that we would talk about why high performers choose bad partners. And I was just thinking about that and how high performers are more about fixing things, building and fixing. And so a partner will probably be something they can build and fix.
A fixer-upper.
A fixer-upper or I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I like to call them fixer-uppers. It's like seeing what you were talking about, right? The good bones and potential. Like you're seeing the foundation for this
Structure.
amazing building, right? You have this strong foundation. All you have to do is boop, go up, build. You know, sometimes it's just foundation. So
sometimes, I mean, I saw, talking about fixer uppers, I went to visit this lady after yoga. She was having tea at her house. The house was amazing, right? It had so much character. She had moved the entrance to the side. She had done so much work because she saw the potential in that house. And it was amazing. But then she told me how much she put into it. And I was like, whoa,
yo,
clearly you could have bought, like, you know what I mean? But
so
it had so much character and it was beautiful, you know?
okay. But I mean, but that's a house.
I know. But what I'm saying is, if you're looking at what you just said about a fixer-upper, is it possible to build something? Yes, but that person has to be in it. And that person has to be willing on their own to do what they want to do, where they want to be. You can't fix something that doesn't want to be fixed. And it is not your job to fix it.
No, it's not a fixing. So let's just get that out of the way. There is no fixing.
Right. There's no fixing.
Being with a fixer upper doesn't work. It never works. It will never work.
Right.
But project with a partner is not a thing.
What I'm saying is, if that person on their own, they're working on themselves, that's great. And you want to walk along with them? Great. You have to walk at a different speed, obviously. But that's great. You can't just work on you can work on that person for them.
Well, so I feel like the only way that this works, I hear what you're saying with the house and blah, 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 blah.
If we're using the analogy.
The only way it works is if you find someone that you love who they are right now today, and you're seeing where they're actively taking steps
towards,
and you're seeing how that matches your potential to provide a container or something for them, and you're seeing the potential for them to provide that same for you, where it's like a mutual,
correct.
Like if I provide this container, I will grow in this way, and they will be helping me grow in this way, and I will be helping them in return with their growth. And it's like a mutual, whatever.
That's what I was
talking about. That's not a fixer upper. That's a relationship. Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing
that's
is
what I was talking about.
The trophy spouse.
Ooh. Yeah.
You know, you get a pretty boy or a pretty girl, and they just like hang off of you.
Look good. Really good.
Like a symbol status. I don't know.
Hey. Yeah.
And then there's parasites.
Ouch. Leash.
So
I think those are called the diggers.
Well, yes. And so the partner that needs something, that is in need of something, whether that's a home, a credit card, a containment, right? Like a highly emotionally volatile person that needs another's stability, especially if there's a potential for a high achiever to be stable, right? Whether that's, you know, financial or literally stable, emotionally stable, or mental health stable, or some kind of stable. So they attract people that potentially are not stable. So yeah, New York still.
You muted. Okay, got it. She has a siren going on. So there's also intensity, right? Like intense people confusing intensity with intimacy.
Yeah, the push and pull and the spark and the whatever.
Right, like, but that's also stuff you got to work on, right? If you're feeling that intensity means, I don't know, means love, means emotional connection, instead they're leaving you hanging.
Yeah, and the push and pull is a common dynamic to a chaser, runner, and that creates like that experience of anxiety, the thing that creates all the butterflies or whatever. And that's definitely a dynamic to look at, especially if you're kind of constantly looking for that. And I feel like
in a way you're addicted to it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And there's an increase, at least from what I'm seeing, of people looking for stability more than fireworks or whatever the fuck. So breaking out of cycles, breaking out of old relationship patterns, either modeled or that the person experienced in their life. So I'm seeing that more and having more awareness. I feel like people are conscious about, a little bit more conscious about who they're partnering with and about the triggers that they have, and more so entering into conversations about whether this is a red flag, right? More so entering into those kind of, is this a healthy pattern or not healthy pattern? Those are more common conversations now.
Yeah, I've heard some of that stuff, and also some questions that you should be asking your partner or potential partner about how long, I don't know, I think it was a question about how long, last time they were upset, how long did it take them to center and whatnot, or
How long does it take them to get back to homeostasis?
yeah. And I forgot how the question went. Also, when you have the first, I don't want to say disagreement or whatever, somebody's feelings got hurt, how long till they reach back to you? Or was it an hour till they centered, or was it days, a month,
And then you
weeks?
get ghosted.
And that's what you should expect, right? I don't know. And there's other questions I forgot, but anyway, just like a list, a checklist. Okay, good. No, good.
Okay, so these are the type of partners that high achievers kind of can gravitate towards. And the thing with it is, whether it's a fixing mentality, but also there's a performance formula that high performers want to place on all of the things in their life, all of the areas in their life they want to, it's like saying, I want to use a hammer, but I also want to use a hammer to fix all the things. Well, you can't use a hammer for all the things. Okay. So the performance is just, if I use effort and exert myself and take control of the situation, and with my brain power and work harder, I can make this work. That's not what happens.
There's also is the whole self-sacrifice thing, right? And the rewards from it, because they self-sacrifice to build stuff. They're used to putting, whatever they're working on, they're goal oriented, and they do sacrifice part of themselves to achieve what they're achieving. And so when it comes to a partner, this whole, tolerating or accepting certain things, maybe crumbs, I don't know.
Well, well, it's interesting because if we're going into dynamics, obviously we want to look at childhood dynamics and how these partners mirror the relationships that they witnessed of the parents, right? And so a lot of high achievers have this mentality or have internalized this aspect of themselves that, I need to earn love. And that's why I'm doing all the things. I'm doing this. I'm doing a podcast. I'm writing 3 books. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
Is the athlete in them too, like the endurance?
Yeah.
It's not devotion.
So you're learning these high achievers, right? You might be learning that you're earning love through achievement. Look, I got this A. I got this A plus. And so that might be a pattern that you're bringing into the
Also
relationship.
right. also I'm brilliant at relationship. I can make anything happen. I can do this. They're so driven in certain ways. Like I can master relationships. I can, I can close any deal. I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this with this partner. This
Yeah.
is easy. And so they will endure that. Yeah. Okay.
And also just when there's a person that triggers a specific attachment pattern, right? That might create a familiarity of going back to a comfort that is dysfunctional, right? So, if I find lady partner that is emotionally unavailable, hello mom. If I find, you know what I mean? Like, um, what would that look like for my dad? If I find, wow, I can't believe I'm like blanking out on this.
He's more like the provider.
Okay. So if I find a male partner that is like always working and not really trying to build a home, hello dad, right? So there are these things that we see that can be old comforts, but they might be
No, I'm
dysfunctional.
thinking John was always working. Hello, Dad.
We can have a session after this. No mentira. Also, I feel like I would fall under this category of like I don't have any needs. Like this idea of like you, the high achiever, you do the thing, you get the thing done. You don't have any needs. Fucking bullshit, man. We all got needs. I got needs. You got needs. We all got needs. There's no one, strong enough to not have needs. That's so ridiculous. That's also something.
Yeah.
And when I think back or look back or reflect, I'm like, I don't need anything. Yeah, no. That's no. That's a no. That's no.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're pretty happy with where you are.
Yeah, but we all have needs. You have needs. You want the dude that will reach over and touch your hand in the middle of yoga class there.
I do.
I was
Yeah.
paying attention. I listened.
Yeah, I do.
That's a need. Don't.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's something I'd like. Yes. Yes. Okay. I don't call it a need, more like
Sometimes we can reflect on your issues. It's a need. You have a need. It's okay. We all have needs.
Yeah. Okay.
But regardless, there is, like I was saying, there is some stability to the high performers, right? Whether it's just financial, but it's usually more than that because their success also means that there has been stable or consistent, at least routines that happen daily. They're showing up to their lives, they're showing up to work, they're showing up to different kinds of performances throughout the day. So there is some stability and consistency to the high performers.
Yeah.
That creates kind of potentially a magnet for attracting something that is in contrast of that. That's what I got.
No, it makes sense. I mean, and it's always like, I want to say that, and I think we spoke about this in another episode about, and it's not what balances you, but what you want to experience with the other person. Like if you're an introvert, you want someone that will get you off your shell and doing things like an extrovert. And so at the same time, that's what you attract. You're on mute.
And it's okay if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But it's the awareness of knowing that you want that. It's the awareness of, okay, I'm super introverted. I feel like it would be helpful to get with someone that is extroverted.
That wants to go party.
Well, let's not be extreme, right? I feel like I would do well with someone that is a little bit more social than me, a little bit more like, hey, this person can work a crowd, someone that likes going out because I like to stay in. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. If you find someone like my mom, you'll never leave your house.
If I find someone like my mom, I would never ever leave.
Step outside of your apartment.
I feel like that would be terrible, though. Wouldn't that be terrible?
Yeah. She loves being home. Yeah.
I get it, man. I love being home too. Why do you think it's so hard for me to go to Connecticut? By the way, the apple picking never happened.
I know.
I know. I have to put myself out there. I know.
Never happened.
Okay, so this episode is airing after St. Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So happy Galentine's Day. Like belated Valentine's Day episode. It's going to be airing, I think it's airing on the 17th or something.
Okay. I think every day should be Valentine's Day. Just like every day is Mother's Day.
Every day is my day.
Okay. I think that's all we got.
Yeah, that's all we got for the bad relationship.
Tell us about your bad relationships. Comment on our Instagram.
What are all the things you've done terrible?
What's
that you're
list?
Not trying to do again? What's your greatest hits list?
That stayed in the year past or beyond.
Yeah, that died in fucking 2025.
Yeah. What's your list?
All right.
Okay.
And we'll be back next week.
With your permission.
And that is all we have for you this week.
Make sure you follow Permission the Podcast.
And we'll be back next week with your permission.